stronger than before. Go, Zeo, hope it's not a bore. Go, Zeo, time for season 4. Zeo, Ranger Danger.
Welcome back to Ranger Danger Zeo. This is the podcast where we wish upon a star for a good episode of Power Rangers and are usually disappointed. Today on the show, we're going to be watching episode 159 of Power Rangers overall, episode number 4 of Power Rangers Zeo, and it's called Target Rangers.
It sure is, Matt. Hi guys, Michael here.
That's right, and I'm Matt, as Michael just pointed out very helpfully. So, Michael.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, tired.
You're tired a lot, Matt.
Tired a lot.
Do you sleep enough?
Probably not.
What time do you go to bed?
I mean, it depends on the night. Usually sort of 11:30ish.
And what time do you wake up?
6:30ish.
That's not enough sleep.
Probably not. You're probably right.
You're meant to get a good 8 hours.
Yeah, I don't though. Who does though?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was about to say I do, which would be true if I went to bed at 11 o'clock.
But you don't.
No.
No. And you wake up 6:30 like on the dot.
More or less, my life has been ruined by adulthood.
Whereas if I don't have to be up, I will sleep until midday if I have the opportunity.
Yeah, I can't. This morning we had to record a little early because of our special guests from
last week. Yep.
But I was still awake, just 6:30, eyes open,
Ugh.
ready to go. Yeah, it's awful.
It does sound awful.
Yeah.
You know what other place has a lot of awful things?
The Money Zone.
What is the Money Zone?
That's where all the money is. Sorry, that's a thing from another podcast that I've been listening to a lot of lately.
Right, okay. I was going to say the internet.
Oh, okay, that definitely has more horrible things than the Money Zone.
Yeah, but what it does actually have as well, which I think is a good thing, is our website. That's www.rangedagerpodcast.com. It also has email. If you want to send us an email, we're rangedagerpodcast@gmail.com. It also has Twitter. If you want to send us a Twitter tweet on the Twitter, send us a Twitter tweet to @RangerDcast. We're also on Facebook, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Google+. Plus, we have a shop. It's rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop, where you can buy things and stuff and shower curtains and shirts that are quite nice, quite comfortable, I would say.
Okay.
And attractive. Yep.
All right, Matt, what do we think Target Rangers is going to be about? It's kind of a pun, right? Because like a target range is a thing.
Yes.
Are they just going to get like guns?
Possibly.
Maybe they've got like a finisher weapon, like the power cannon and the power whatever and the...
Well, as we kind of touched on last week, the O-Rangers do have a combination weapon that forms from their equivalent of power weapons.
Oh yeah, the secret weapons that we can't talk about because they're nunchucks.
Yes. And my understanding is that maybe they're seen very briefly, but they're generally restricted because, we can't see the other Ranger wielding nunchucks.
Sure.
Offensively. So, yeah, I don't know what it could be.
Or
it could just be like a target monster, just like a big target.
That seems like a poor decision. Like, given how many of the Power Rangers' powers involve shooting energy beams and such, it seems like a bad call to say, hey, more specifically.
But if its weak spot is like on its hand...
Yeah, that'd be clever.
It's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
There you go. I've cracked the code.
Cracked the code, Matt. You could be King Mondo himself.
Yeah. One day. Everyone wants to be the King Mondo. That's what I learned from that big poster of Biggie I have hanging on my wall.
Mate, you've seen one episode of Luke Cage, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can you tell me anything else about Biggie?
Yes.
Go on.
No.
Can you tell me like what Biggie was more commonly referred to as? What his music name was?
Yeah, the big stuff.
No. Jesus Christ, really? I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I actually have a super blind spot for rap, which is unfortunate because I quite enjoy it. But yeah, that's not where my rock solid base of knowledge is.
You say the big stuff.
Yeah. Is that not it?
No.
I know that's not it, by the way. That I can.
You don't know what it is, but you definitely know
it's
that's
not the big
it.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
Biggie Small? Is that the thing?
That's a thing, but that's not this thing.
Okay. Damn. Well, now you have to prove that you know
I don't have to do that
Yeah.
because it's very obvious that you don't, and that means I win no matter what.
No, because maybe you don't know.
Biggie was the notorious B.I.G.
B.I.G. Yeah, okay. Now that you say that, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I did know of that situation.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I don't know what Biggie Smalls is. Maybe that's also him?
maybe.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. This isn't a rap podcast. I'm sure there are rap podcasts, and I'm sure they're presented by people who know things about rap.
Which is good. That's why I try to stay away from the subject generally, and I foolishly did not this time, because as much respect as I have for the art form, I do not know anything about it, largely. That's definitely something I've always meant to I don't say catch up on, because that kind of trivializes it, but find out more about.
It feels like, not to turn this into a rap podcast, I think of it as being like wrestling, in the sense that it's like a whole other thing with a whole other history, and if you're gonna get into it, you have to you don't have to know every album and every performer, but it is important to know the history of the genre. And
one thing informs another,
and so you can't really just sit down and watch the wrestling, because you'll go oh, what's that, who's that guy, what's he doing, why is he a ghost,
Sure.
is he actually a ghost, and yes, I think The Undertaker is a ghost.
No, I believe he's supernaturally powered.
Okay, sure. But are any other wrestlers supernaturally powered?
I couldn't say.
Because I feel if one wrestler had all the powers of ghosts, and another wrestler was a very athletic dude, that doesn't feel like a fair fight to me.
Oh, it wasn't. The Undertaker was the guy. He murdered everyone, basically. Not murdered, I guess. Maybe, sometimes.
Do you see what I mean? So, if you're trying to get into, someone murdered Biggie, but I don't know who that is, I don't think the world knows who that is.
Right.
I think, I don't know. But so, you have to, know stuff.
Yes.
And as much as I would, as much as it'd be great to know that stuff, I don't know that I have the room in my life for that whole chunk of knowledge.
Yeah, but I certainly feel like it would be a worthwhile investment to learn about.
Yeah, absolutely. If someone has a rap podcast like this podcast, that would be great.
Man, rap for beginners, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm all aboard that train.
Rap for white people.
Yeah, but no, come on, some white people. We don't want to sort of generalize here.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair. Some, Eminem probably knows a lot about rap.
Yeah.
He's a rappist.
They don't use that term for a very clear and specific reason.
Maybe that's the first thing we're going to cover in our new rap podcast.
Boy, that would be such a terrible decision.
It really would.
From every angle, ill-considered, and poor.
If one of us knew a lot about rap, that's a conceivable podcast. The two of us stumbling through Wikipedia pages trying to find out what rap is.
And even just two white Australian guys, it's
no, we're providing an outsider's perspective, Matthew.
Yeah, but I think kind of the point of rap is it's about the insider's perspective.
It's an outsider's perspective, like the European settlers provided to the Aborigines.
Yeah, see, now you've really gone very specific on why this whole thing's a problem.
Yep.
Cool.
I thought I'd just nail it down.
Yeah.
For anyone who was listening who was I could start that podcast, I wanted to be really clear about why it might be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
All right. So, Target Rangers.
How did we get here?
I don't remember, because I don't think it was from someone being shot.
No.
Which seems like a reasonable way to get here from there.
Yes, but that's not what it was.
It's there's a maze and you can see the solution, but someone's just drawn a line all the way around instead.
Yes.
All right. We're going to go watch Target Rangers.
Yep.
We're going to find out what that's about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they get something cool. They probably don't get new Megazords already, right?
No.
It's probably too soon for that.
Definitely too soon for that.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
Yep.
We'll be back in a bit.
See you soon. That was unexpected.
Yeah. I didn't hate it.
No.
It felt like, finally, the Power Rangers episode.
Yeah. Yeah, even more so than last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because last week's A plot and B plot weren't really connected. They were just both things that were happening.
Yep.
Whereas this,
And even then, that was we're figuring out the Zords. So now we've got everything, all the elements are assembled, basically.
Yes. Although there's a new thing this week that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, you said, is it too early for new Zords? And I was like, hell yeah, but kind of got something in that area.
Yeah.
News order adjacent, I guess I'd say.
Yeah, all right. Will we take it from the top?
Yep.
All right. Did I see another motorbike in the opening segment?
Maybe.
This show loves motorbikes, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like,
Can I tell you why?
motorbikes are rad.
Yes. Children love motorbikes.
I know, of course they do. They're like cars, but fun and exciting. But, like, that's a lot of motorbikes. And the last set of motorbikes were the most disappointing motorbikes anyone has ever had.
Perhaps ever in history.
So,
I think the benefit is that was mostly American footage.
yes.
Whereas my understanding is that, and I'm definitely not sure about this,
Sure.
is that there's a bit more Sentai motorbike action.
Okay.
I can tell you that I actually had a Zeo motorbike toy,
Oh, nice.
and at least in design, they're much cooler.
Did,
than,
like, a Zeo action figure fit on top of it?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, the Lost Galaxy guys don't have motorbikes.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely had, like, Lost Galaxy motorbike action figure toys.
Yeah.
And they had a thing where, like, the front of the motorbike would come off and become, like, chest armor for them.
Oh wow,
So, like, the Lion Sword would get, like, a lion chest plate.
That's pretty cool.
Some cool shit.
yeah.
All right. Anyway, so there's robots in the junkyard.
Yes, there are.
They're just looking through some...
We should say for the listeners that they're cogs specifically.
Yes, not just like regular robots.
No.
These are specifically evil robots.
That's right.
And they're like building something.
Mm.
It's funny. These robots are creepy.
Yeah.
In a way that the putties were odd, but it was a different kind of strange.
Yeah, I think because they're so mechanized.
Yeah.
Like the putties seem to be like fabricated creatures, but at least they were kind of creatures. Where these are like
Robots.
they're like soulless in the way that putties were supposed to be, but kind of weren't.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So back on it's a spaceship, right? It's never been named.
Yeah, I'm gonna say spaceship,
Yeah.
gear ship,
Gear, space.
space gear,
It's as good as any.
the space cog.
It's maybe not as good as any. Okay. Orbis is being equipped with growth technology.
Yes, he is.
The Make My Monster Grow stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's a bit of a bummer that this is happening this week and not last week where there was also a giant monster.
Yeah, he started giant. We don't know that he was ever small.
I guess that's technically true.
And the technology makes something small big, not
to just make big things.
exactly
All right. I'm willing to accept that.
justified.
And so Orbis is like... He shouldn't be able to feel pain as a robot.
But there seems to be experiencing something.
It's like, it's not gruesome, but it is just like a little dude being held down while someone
It
implants
is
something.
adjacent to witnessing surgery on a baby. I
Yeah.
think is why it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then Clank is like, it's not that bad. And I'm going to do that accent as many chances as I get, guys. There's finally a Scottish person on this show.
You're lucky people, listeners.
So excited.
Count your blessings, I guess.
Loch Ness, Scotland.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a
Uh-huh.
fun accent.
Uh-huh.
And Clank is like, it doesn't hurt that much. And Orbis is like, yeah, it kind of does. And King Mondo's like, oh, good. If it doesn't hurt that much, you as well.
He specifically says, like, oh, that's a good stiff upper lip attitude to have, which really, like, I'd been kind of thinking about this previously, but really solidified for me that the bad guys of this season are really just about demonizing the British, right?
Yeah.
Like 100%.
I mean, like, literally one of them has a Scottish accent.
yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, we've kind of culturally accepted the British accent as just being standard posh accent.
Yeah.
But as soon as you go, like, Scottish, that feels geographical.
Yeah. But even just like the attitudes and the monarchy.
Yeah, I mean, they're royalty, right?
Exactly. And their villainy is very much rooted in classism. You know what I mean? It's very much like, we are born to rule. And, like, if you're in our way, then, you know, that's you being, not considering the class system.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's interesting in its own little way, you know?
Yeah.
It's
But also a little racist.
But I like the idea that even if, like, I know it's not true to say that the Power Rangers are the same Power Rangers from the start.
Yes.
But there's definitely, like, a consistency there.
Yeah.
I like the idea that even if we're going to keep them for a while, like, changing the nature of the threat that they're facing, not just now it's robots, but like now it's royalty.
Yeah.
Then it becomes like just like a one lady who's kind of in it on her own with a crew.
Yep.
And then it's like a whole evil empire with like resources and stuff going on. Really changes like the tone of those parts of the show in an interesting way.
Yeah, it does help to mix it up a bit. Absolutely.
Yeah. As we've seen a similar thing on Dino Charge, right? Where like we had a bounty hunter and then that was replaced by like a monster.
Yep.
Who has then again been replaced by like just a really bad dude. It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone's playing a video game.
Yes.
It's Rocky and I think this girl's name is Jennifer.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know that it ever actually got said aloud.
It's actually on...
But it's
on the screen.
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
And so Rocky's like, wow, this game is so cool. And she's like, it's not good enough. There's still some software problems, which are the worst kind of problems.
Whereas Rocky's attitude is, problems aren't nothing. Problems aren't a problem.
And so Rocky's like, well, I'm not worried about that. I'm just glad I got teamed up with you.
He's the creepiest guy.
It's just, yeah. Oh.
He's a sleaze bag.
Yeah.
So we should say for the listeners, it's a fighting game.
Yes.
That
like a 2D...
like mech warrior fighting game, basically, which is particularly weird because the monster that's on the screen is exactly the monster that we'll see later on, which is being built independently in a junkyard across town. Bizarre coincidence, but whatever. And Rocky's the worst. But what's interesting about this is that Rocky being the worst is moving from my subtextual analysis to just being the text.
Oh, that's literally what happens in this episode.
Yeah.
And, like, it's funny because we've hated Rocky for a long time.
That's true.
And, like, we've said Rocky's the worst. But it's been rare for him to do anything where he was the worst.
Yeah.
Like, he was often not the best. But... like, a lot of that, the worst, was just us being like, oh, how bad is Rocky?
No, I think a lot of it was, like, the performance and his just general vibe, I guess, rather than what the show was intending.
But it's interesting that now going into Zeo, like, it feels like everyone was having the same vibe.
Yes.
And is just like, okay, so we're just going to make Rocky canonically the worst,
Let's go with it. Yep.
Which,
good job,
sure.
You did it.
I mean, when Rocky says, like, I'm just glad I got teamed up with you, and I'm pausing because that's how long he pauses for.
Yep.
She reacts the appropriate way.
Yes.
And
which is like, okay, well, back to work. Let's not think about what just happened.
like, it would have been easy enough for her to, like, giggle and look away, and that to be like, take that tone.
Yes.
But she is like, oh, Jesus, Rocky.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, let's finish building this fighting game, and then I don't
That's
have to
the thing,
talk to
too,
you
because, like,
again.
she's legitimately trying to work hard, and he's being terrible by not contributing at all, dismissing her attempts at trying to resolve the problem.
She's like, look, we're having some problems, but we can work on it. And he's like, want to bang later?
Yeah. He's terrible.
Hey?
Don't do that.
Hey?
I hate him so much.
I'm winking, guys. You can't see that because this is an audio medium.
I'm just glad that, like, Rocky is finally who I thought he was all along.
Rocky is now officially the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah.
So Rocky tries to ask Jennifer to the dance. And Jennifer's like, I'm going to explain to you the rules of this game that presumably we're supposed to have built together.
Yep. She definitely heard the question too. She was going out of her way to not answer that question.
He even like he says it all. He doesn't start saying it and get interrupted.
Yeah.
He's like, there's a dance on Friday. Would you like to? And she's like, I'm going to stop you by talking about something else. And then we're just going to shut this whole thing down.
And I'm just going to hope to hell it never comes back because you're Rocky.
Maybe you will take this hint. You haven't been able to take any other hint, so I don't like the odds, but we will see.
And then just to cap off his terribleness, he falls off a completely stationary chair.
Yeah, so she explains that the rules are, the robot asks you a question, if you get it right, you score. If you get it wrong, it blasts you with a missile.
Yep. It's vindictive.
I know you think you can see what's happening coming.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I, like, you know, at this point, like, yeah, okay, great. I can see...
We were both like, yeah, we figured this out.
As soon as the monster fight starts, an abrupt left turn happens.
It sure does.
Oh,
but we'll
boy.
get to that.
I have to say while we're talking about it, that's the stuff I love.
Yeah.
I hate it because it would be a much more, like, concise narrative statement if what we thought was going to happen happened.
Yes.
And that would be like that would be a thing, and that
Yes.
would be just complete. But if the show wants to surprise me the way it's going to surprise me 20 minutes from now, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, like, it seems to be setting up an educational statement.
Yeah.
And a sort of a character moment, a lesson.
Rocky has to answer questions to not get hit with a missile, and he learns that, like, knowledge is important or something. And
That's not what he learns.
no. He learns about helmets and the sun.
Yep. We'll get to that.
All right, so Bulk and Skull, there's been a rash of break-ins in the junkyard.
Yep.
That's all there is to
That's
this.
the whole plot this episode.
Yeah.
Goldar, Rito, nowhere to be seen.
And again, I don't mind the willingness to not use stuff.
Oh, totally. Yeah, they've got enough stuff going now that they can dip in and out of stuff as needed.
There's nowhere you could put Goldar and Rito that would drastically improve this episode. And so choosing not to use them is the better choice.
Yeah.
Like, Tommy and Kat and Tanya, barely in this episode. Adam's only, like, slightly more in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if it gets those guys a break first, and also doesn't feel like you're cramming the episode full,
Yeah, great.
that's the right way to go about it. And it's nice for this show to have finally kind of feels like it's gotten into that groove properly. All right, so the main chip still isn't working on the computer. Something.
Nobody working in the show knows how computers work.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
So Jennifer's gonna, like, take it home and work on it there. No, she's not. She's gonna, like, go. Yeah, she's gonna go work on something, but she has to lock down the computer.
Yep.
With, like, a password.
Which is... The password, by the way, is a straight line on a bit of paper. Because we see her draw the password, and she just draws a vertical line and then folds up the bit of paper.
I'm pretty sure when the cog puts it in later, not to spoil, it's just the word book. Which is A, not a secure password, guys. Come on. And B, maybe she knew how dumb Rocky was. She just drew a book.
Oh, wow.
This is like
Assumed Rocky couldn't read.
Maybe, like, he's so dumb, he might be illiterate.
Yeah.
So if I draw a pictogram of a book, he will probably be fine with hieroglyphics.
The other thing, though, is that it's a password, and she's like, if you lose this password, all is lost. She can't remember that the password is
She
book.
knows the password.
Like, she doesn't need that written down. She's a clever person, as we've established. She can remember book.
I'm telling you now, almost certainly, like 5 years from now, someone's going to say to me, what was the password in this episode? And I'm going to be like, oh yeah, it was probably book, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So if she can't remember it overnight, maybe she should just leave a book out all the time.
Yeah. God, who knows? What I do like, I will say that it's cool to have a female character.
Yep.
That is coding.
Yep.
Essentially. And it's presented as she's very capable, and there's no problem with that.
Yep, no one says anything. Rocky's a creep,
Yep.
but
Yeah, it's not like Rocky has to save the day.
Yeah.
Like, she would have done that project without him. No
And she
problem.
does.
She does,
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, that's cool. Like, that shouldn't be remarkable.
No.
But it is kind of even now. And in the middle of the 90s...
it was pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's just a thing that we just don't even really talk about.
Yep.
Okay, so King Mondo's got an idea from
Yes.
this computer game, because I guess as soon as you move to Earth, you just start getting invasion ideas from teenagers.
Bad ones, too.
Yeah. So here's the plan. They're going to steal that software and use it to program the machine.
Yes.
They're all robots.
Yep.
Why do they need to steal some teenagers' fighting game software? Do they not have fighting software already?
It's also not it's not a fighting game, really.
No,
it's
a
like
learning game.
Yeah, it's got the visual representation of a fighting game, but you type in answers to, like, knowledge questions.
Yeah.
So
they're robots. If it was Rita, I'd give them a pass.
Yeah.
Because she could be like, oh yeah, we built this robot. but
we've never built a robot
we
before.
don't. It turns out you have to do something other than just assemble the parts of a robot.
Yeah.
But, like, they're all mechanical men.
Yep.
Oh boy. Anyway, so Rocky and Adam are walking, and Rocky's explaining what's going on. Adam in this scene shows more personality than he's been able to show since he arrived.
It's great,
It
right?
is great straight away.
Yeah, and he's the best character. Once again, like now Adam's who I thought he was all along as well.
Yeah, because Rocky's being like, oh, this girl, she's so, like, pretty and hard to deal with and pretty and
Problematic
and
wants to do work.
pretty. And Adam's like, and you want to bang her, right? Rocky's like, whose side are you on? And Adam says, I'm on the side of true love. He's just being a little shit.
It's
the
the best. He had a shit-eating grin on his face the whole time.
He knows that, like, he's not helping Rocky at all, and he does not care.
Nah, Rocky deserves it.
I have definitely been Adam in that situation more than once in my life,
Yes.
and I can confirm that it is as fun as that.
Yes.
Then some cogs show up.
Yep.
This teleportation effect,
Yes.
it doesn't look great because it's a piece of mid-90s CGI.
Yes.
But it's effective.
It opens up a lot of questions.
You mean because
though.
they, like, jump from space?
Yeah, like a tear in the fabric of reality opens up.
Yep.
And they, like, teleport through it, and there's definitely, like, a starry background behind
Yep.
it. Well, where do they go? Is
Agreed.
it going through an alternate dimension? Like,
Who knows?
who knows?
So we see a cool bit where, like, they don't have their Zeomorphers on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They make them appear. I dig that.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before. It's still... I think it's more in the words now. It's not quite where I remember it being, but this is much closer to what a morphing sequence will be now in Zeo.
Sure.
Where they kind of like flick their wrists
Yep.
to like warp in their Zeonizers and then do their actions and do it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like Zeonizers.
So they start to fight these cogs,
Mm-hmm.
and then one finds Rocky's bag, steals it, and then they all run away.
Yeah. It's not a bad fight scene.
No.
What blows my mind, though, is that they fight cogs, and every now and then they'll get a punch in that makes you see the gears inside it, and that makes the cogs run away. Like, fine, whatever. But it was 3 episodes ago that Zordon was like, cogs are really scary, and they have to be completely dismantled to be beaten.
I think the cogs have run away from every fight so far.
Yeah, they don't have to be completely dismantled.
No.
That was a lie.
You really just have to go like, boo.
Yeah.
All of October, cogs are so easy to defeat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah,
So
Zon's liar,
the
basically.
cog who stole the backpack teleports away separately and just appears in the learning center at the school. Oh boy.
God, imagine if you were that person who was just sitting in the library.
It's after hours. You're scrambling to finish your computer project as well.
Yep.
Because Angel Grove's got 2 computers because it's 1994 and
Yep.
we only had 2 computers in all our classrooms. And you're like, oh God, it's so late. I'd better get home. And you're like, all right, I'll finish this. And you turn around and there's like the dude in a metallic suit with a fucked up sort of mask face. And he's like, blah, 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 or whatever noise they make.
He teleports in through a break in the fabric of space and time. He's got a human backpack on his back. He sits down at a computer, inserts a floppy disk into it, and
Types
starts
the password book.
It starts stealing information from the school computer.
Oh God, floppy disks. Remember floppy disks?
I do. I'm surprised you remember them, because
Yeah.
you're a bit younger than me.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to store half of a text document,
Yeah.
floppy disks were for you.
Man, they were so big, and they had such little space.
You can get a 1 terabyte SD card now. Mm-hmm. Those were like maybe a megabyte or a number of megabytes on a floppy. Does that sound
I
right?
think they might have been even like 520 kilobytes or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, Michael.
That was 20 years ago.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It's the future.
it is the future.
That's messed up. Mm-hmm. Okay, so once he's done there, he still takes the backpack with him. It's my favourite act of like little villainy.
Yeah.
There's no reason he couldn't just dump it there and like Rocky can get it later. But he's like, no, I'm explicitly picking this back up, putting it back on my shoulders. If he wants it, it'll be at the junkyard.
He's never had a backpack before. He's probably like, wow, this is a good storage solution, and like good compromise between storage and portability. Let's hold on to this.
Maybe the guys in space don't know about these.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them about
Show all the other cogs. Next week, all the cogs show up with cool backpacks.
One of them's got a fanny pack because he didn't quite get the memo.
Yeah.
He was like, So it's like you wear it around your waist? No, yeah. Oh, it's fine, whatever.
Some of them have like really flashy backpacks and then the cool cogs now.
One of them's got a satchel. He's like, no, it's like a backpack, but it's like more adult because I can put like, no? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he inserts the floppy into the pile of scrap robot that they've been doing.
Yep.
And just throws the backpack away. Then he backflips into space.
He does that. And if you could do that, why would you not?
If that was how you got places, why would you ever get anywhere
Or even
else?
left places.
Yep.
Imagine if you work at the end of the day, be like, okay, guys, I'm out, and then just backflipping into space.
Oh, boy. So the effect of the robot waking up is basically just it was covered in additional bits of junk. And
Yes.
it, like, shakes it off. But it's good enough.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. And so it walks up to Bulk and Skull and it says, question, where are the Power Rangers? And doesn't shoot a missile at them, disappointingly.
No. I guess because they didn't answer, so they technically didn't get it wrong.
It's like a jet on top of a person.
More like just a missile launcher array on top of a person, I guess I'd say.
Yeah, but there's like a pointiness to it. But
That's true. Yeah.
It's like, imagine if you had a jet that turned into a transformer.
Yeah.
And you transformed it like to the stage where it had legs.
Yep.
But kind of left the rest of it as a jet.
Yep.
That's basically what... His name is Silo, like a missile silo. All right, so in the power chamber, which I
Yeah.
think is just called the power chamber, Matt.
Yes.
That's what they've called it.
A few times.
A
You're
few
probably
times
right,
now.
yeah.
Something else is ready for a test run. Battle helmets.
Yeah. And like we aren't given any context. Like, is it a helmet for the Power Rangers, maybe?
Yeah,
They already
it's
have
just-
helmets. That's weird.
Yeah, do they put like helmets on top of their helmets, or do they get different helmets?
Helmets,
I've
yeah.
never seen those, but like it's not out of the question. And you could have had a cool action figure that like swapped heads or something.
Yep.
So we'll find out in a bit. There's a nice bit where Billy is like, these would have been really good in the old days. And I was like, yeah, it's a shame you had to use bow and arrows, isn't it? Which, I get the joke. Alpha's like, come the fuck on. I built you giant dinosaur robots. What more do you want?
Yeah.
But one of them literally had a bow and arrow.
So it's a confusing joke.
It's like, yeah, no, actually, remember you made Kim use a bow and arrow for like 3 years?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I think that joke probably would have landed better because of that with, like, sticks and stones or
Yeah.
sharpened sticks or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
But I feel Billy is kind of wasted here. But I love him in this role.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like they haven't quite figured out what to do with him. I don't know if they will figure it out. I
Yeah.
hope so.
At the moment, his job is like basically stuff that Zordon and Alpha just would have done. We're seeing less of Zordon,
Yeah.
which I don't mind
No,
necessarily.
I prefer Billy to Zordon, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, he's like a person with feelings and
Yeah.
a character and stuff.
But I do like the dynamic of Alpha gently sort of poking Billy with a comment like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's fun.
Like, and something about Billy talking about the old days really is like, oh, things have actually like changed
Yeah.
properly in a significant way.
They're gently touching on that idea of legacy now, which is nice.
That's-
When Alpha sees the bad guy in the viewing globe,
Yep.
he's like, oh, he's a real missile maniac.
Yep.
I was hoping that we get to a point where it's like, oh, Alpha's just Cisco now.
Alpha names stuff.
Alpha names stuff, but no, his name's Silo.
And
sadly.
then like Rocky tries to name something and Alpha's like, no, I do the naming.
Exactly.
I do the naming.
Oh.
Hey.
Nope.
All right. So
AAA?
no.
No.
It's Morphin time. All the guys are at the... It's not worth talking about that scene.
I do want to say, though, just real quick, because they're at the juice bar, they're doing flips.
Yep.
You know, I'm still getting used to the new colours. And for some reason, it's fine when they're Power Rangers.
Yep.
But when they're standing around in Rocky's in blue and Adam's in green, and especially for some reason Tommy in red,
Yeah.
it's still wigging me out a little bit.
Adam is fine because he's wearing like dark greens and striped greens and like he's got black pants. He's close enough.
Yeah.
But like Rocky and Tommy in particular
Yeah.
is this like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's-
Rocky especially has gone real hard on blue now.
Yeah, like Tommy, I think in this has got like a black top and red pants.
Yes.
And it's like if he was wearing white pants instead, he could have been doing that last time.
Yes.
But Rocky's just all blue shirts and blue jackets, and it's really surprisingly jarring.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they confront King Mondo.
Yep.
Which was a start to this scene that I wasn't expecting. Like,
Yeah.
he's just down there on Earth, and he's like, right, here's my monster. You guys ready for this shit? And they're like, King Mondo.
They
rah.
pull out their laser pistols for the first time?
Yeah, so Silo shoots some missiles at a rock slide and makes a rock slide happen.
Yep.
And then he, like, charges at them. And they just call them laser pistols.
Which is disappointing.
I guess because they don't turn into a sword, they're not blade blasters, but even like Zeo pistols or something would have been
Zeo lasers, like, it's fine.
Just give it something.
Zeo blasters.
They're kind of cool. They like see through and they're cool to look at.
Yeah, they fit well with the theme.
We don't get a great like look at them,
No.
but they're a cool little thing.
Yep.
Matt, let's talk about the Make My Monster Grow sequence.
Yeah.
Because I hope we get this every episode from here on out. Clank's the big one. Orbis is the small one because
Yes.
he orbits Clank.
Yep.
He like retracts his limbs.
Yep.
So he becomes spherical.
Yep.
One of his limbs like extends out and becomes a chain.
Yes, with a handle on it.
Clank grabs the end of the chain.
Yep.
And like shot puts it at the monster.
Yeah, around and away we go.
And then Orbis latches onto the monster, like plugs in and gives him special growth juice.
Yep, it's definitely a fluid.
And then he like beep boop beep computer effect grows.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Okay. It makes no sense. Why is there like growth petrol?
Why not? I think is a better question.
Okay, fair enough. So they summon the Zeo Megazord. They
Uh-huh.
skip straight to the Megazord, basically.
Yep.
And I thought the scene of the Zords waking up last episode was cool with them coming in on the little things. But this one with a computer waking up because they're not there to go in it might be cooler.
I don't know about might be cooler, but it's cool that this is also a thing because they're not at the power chamber. They can't just drop in on their chairs.
Yeah.
So a computer wakes up, you see a screen flash to life, and then like the acceleration lever just like jumps forward, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah. And then it's mostly the same from there, but it's cool.
But then, like, when they teleport into their Zords, there's just... I guess the thing to remember is we're talking about footage that's, like, a couple of years older than the footage that we're used to dealing with.
Yes.
So, just, like, the teleportation effect looks better.
Yes.
The model shots look better.
Yep.
Everything is just better.
Yes.
And it's just, like... It's nice to see. It makes it feel different and better and newer. Mm-hmm. And their cockpit is tiny.
It is much smaller, isn't
Why
it?
is it so small? They're in a giant robot.
I mean, like, I kind of prefer it in a way. It looks cramped.
Yeah.
But it also looks like they didn't build, like, a giant sort of bridge into the Red Zord. You know what
Sure.
I mean? Like, that like, they actually had to build in weapons and stuff like that. So it's not going to be a giant cockpit.
Sure. So Silo starts attacking them, and he starts by asking questions.
Yes.
But instead of, like, waiting for their answers, he just delivers the answers himself and attacks.
Yeah. And like, we hinted at this at the start, but the obvious way this episode goes is that the Rangers hear the questions like, what's going on, get attacked, realize that if they answer the questions correctly, the monster won't attack and they can beat it.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
And, like, maybe they have to get in touch with Jennifer to answer a question.
Maybe.
Or, like, maybe Rocky just learns that knowing stuff is good.
Yep.
But no, this is just, like, he just attacks.
Yep.
He just attacks all the time. And then he captures them in chains.
You know, first of all, he says, how hot is the sun?
Now, holy shit.
You're about to find out, and wraps them in chains and energy, starts going through the chains. And I was like, they're going to superheat the Megazord.
No.
Cool. That's not it.
No, Matt. It's not. He flies them into the space.
Yep. He picks them up, starts jetting off because he's a jet, drags them out of the atmosphere, and at this point I'm like, they'll have to escape the chains before they get to space. No. That's not what happens.
They just go, they're in space now.
They're in space immediately.
And almost instantly after, they get thrown into the sun.
Yep. The screen goes red. Flames are bursting up from the bottom.
We see, like, a shot of the sun, which looks surprisingly small. And, they're, like, you know, probably, like, millions of kilometers away.
Yeah. But it looks like it's right there.
I've looked it up. The sun is 150 million kilometers from Earth.
Yep.
That's a very fast trip.
Yes.
Because it takes under a minute.
Yes.
They need to, like, get some of that technology and use it for the common good.
Yes.
So, at this point, they're like, we're going to have to call for help.
Mm-hmm. Because we're being thrown into the sun.
Yes. And, like, the chains have detached. They're just being dragged into the sun by the gravitational force of the sun.
Uh-huh. That's not good.
No, it's not good at all. It's terrible, in fact.
It's such a crazy raising of the stakes for this show.
And it's treated so nonchalantly.
Yeah. Like they're a little worried, but for all they know, they're dead.
Yeah. This is like the last thing that you see in your life.
Yep.
In a horrible life that has somehow ended in you being thrown at the sun. And they are just like, I guess maybe we could ask Billy if he can do anything. And so Alpha, we hear, go, oh no, the Zeo Megazord is being pulled into the sun. Buddy, you weren't worried about space. You weren't worried about the upper atmosphere. But now that they're at the sun, you're going to start to
It's
panic.
a problem. Yeah.
All right. They haven't tested the battle helmets yet, Matt, but
This is a weird thing for them at the moment. Like, they're really into this idea of, like...
if it never does anything,
Yeah.
it's a meaningless detail.
Yes.
Like, why couldn't Billy just have tested... Like, have Billy at the start say, all right, that test went well.
Yeah.
Because...
They never go like, oh, we should do it even though we haven't tested it. Oh, no, it's not working out for us because we didn't test it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what has to happen for that to be a payoff.
Yeah.
And even if that only happens, like, the third time, then at least that's fine.
Yeah.
But...
Or if it creates an important plot detail, like in Iron Man,
yes.
right? Which sets up the climax of the film. But no, that's not what this does.
Yeah. No. All right. So, Matt, let's talk about the battle helmets.
Yes.
But no, before we talk about the battle helmets, Billy, like, contacts them and says, hey, we've got these battle helmets. Each one's got an additional power based on your... And Rocky says, hey, I don't think it's time to talk shop. Like...
That's not what that means.
But what the fuck do you want? You were like, hey, can you help? And Billy's like, yeah, I've got these helmets. And you're like, shut up, nerd.
Rocky's such a dick.
He's so, like...
Because, like, they're falling into the sun. Billy understands the situation. Rocky's the one talking shit.
If there's any time someone needs to explain, hey, I've got this thing that might help, it's when you are being thrown into the sun.
Yes.
Oh, boy. All right, Matt, let's talk about the helmets.
Yeah.
So, basically, when the Megazord forms, parts of the Firebird become a helmet for it.
Yep.
But it can swap those out.
Yes.
And each one has a different power.
Yeah, so each Zord has a bit of it that can become a helmet.
Yeah, I wrote these down.
Yep.
But I didn't write down which colour they are, so let's see if we can remember.
Yep.
Zeo Gravity is green.
Yes, Zeo 3.
Yep, all right. Great, you're going to do colours. Numbers.
Yep.
Is green 3?
Yes.
Green must be 4, it's a rectangle.
Oh, shit, you're right. It is 4. Yeah, sorry. Triangle is 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zeo Rocket is yellow.
So that's 2.
Yep. Zeo Cannon is pink.
1.
Zeo Pyramid is blue.
3.
And Zeo Warrior Mode seems to just be like the regular thing.
Yes. But, like, I think also... The implication I got from this episode is that their power sword, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
can only be accessed in warrior
Yeah,
mode.
it's part of... That's like its thing, is
Yep.
it gets the sword.
Yep.
And so the helmet is like a combination of their Zord and their own personal Power Ranger helmet.
Yep.
It's got like that shape, but the idea of like the face and head of their Zord.
Yep.
I really like this.
It's really cool, right?
I like this a lot more than I like 1,000 different Megazord formations.
Yes.
Because, like, they can switch in and out of them to the most appropriate one, but it's just, like, changing formation a little. It's not like...
It's simpler.
Yeah.
And less to sort of wrap your head around.
And there's also the cool detail that whoever is the helmet is in the front
Yeah,
of
that
the
is cool.
Megazord.
I mean, when you look at that cockpit, it makes you wonder how they're switching places.
I mean, I wish it rotated.
Yeah.
Like, and they were all, like, I don't know how the seats would work. It would be a complex piece of mechanical engineering.
Not that complex. Like, the seats could rotate
The counter way.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm sure that that's the reason that they just cut away and someone's sitting in a different chair.
But God, like, I don't think it'd even be that hard to pull off. It'd be cool if they did that.
Wouldn't it, like, because it'd be like...
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm perfectly happy with what we're getting.
Yeah.
Which is this...
Yeah, we don't complain, but
Yeah.
like when we take over Power Rangers, it's going to be a rotating cockpit, that's for sure.
It sure is. It's just going to spin super fast. No, so they use gravity to break the chains, which is, of course, a thing that gravity can do.
Is it?
I mean, gravity could break chains. I'm willing to accept that.
Yeah, I suppose. That's technically true.
Yeah.
It's not like they use gravity to reverse the sun's gravity and fly away.
No, because they just use Zeo rocket to just fly away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, right? We've
Yeah.
got power over gravity. We'll just make the sun...
I mean, gravity is the problem that they're facing right now.
I mean, I guess they couldn't just make the sun not have any gravitational power because that would have
That'd be a disaster.
disastrous consequences.
But you could reverse the effect, like, on the
you.
Megazord. Yeah.
That would have been, like, enough of a hand wave.
Yes.
But
Yep.
anyway, whatever. Breaks the chains. And then they just fly away and they fly back to Earth.
So Zeo Rocket has, like, it's just a helmet with rockets on their head. And because it's flying head first into the sun, it just blasts away, like, not opposite of head first. Foot first away from the sun.
Yep.
It's so weird, but I love it.
That's great. So they land back on Earth where Silo is.
So I was going to say, on your head
Yep.
is the worst place to have booster rockets.
Yep, that's definitely
It's
true.
the actual worst of all places.
On your dingus.
Even then, at least you can have, like, you're still the right way up. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair
Whereas
enough.
on your head, you're just going to be thrown around constantly.
Oh boy. Alright. So pyramid power
Yep.
is like it lifts Silo into the air.
Oh, hang on. No, we don't want to skip over re-entry here. Because Silo comes back to Earth and be like, hey, I done it. Threw him into the sun. I'm a winner. And then the Zeo Megazord just drops through the atmosphere and, like, superhero pose lands on the ground. It's like, what up? I'm back. So good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
All right. So yes. Pyramid power head comes on.
Yep.
It has power pyramids.
Which is like it lifts the Silo into the air and like he dangles around for a bit. He doesn't look like he's on a wire.
No.
Which I'm sure he is, but it's a really
It's
nice
impressive.
bit of physical work.
Yeah. It makes me wonder about pyramids, though. Because that, too, gravity, I could buy.
Yeah.
You know, has been, like, disconnected from the gravitational effects of the planet.
Yeah, sure.
And that's pyramid power, separate from gravity.
Cannon power just puts a cannon on its head and it shoots a big cannon at you.
Yeah, love it. Tells what it says on the tin.
Great. They should just start in cannon mode, frankly.
Yeah.
And so then Tommy just goes into warrior mode. He's in charge now. Kills Silo.
Yep.
So finally a really effective solution to the, like, is everybody really doing anything when they're in the Megazord formation?
Yes, absolutely.
Because, yeah, it just gives them all an ability to do, and they are doing that. They're in charge while that's happening.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, if the seats didn't change,
Yeah.
then that would just be like, oh, I guess Tommy has more stuff he can do with the Zord now. But no, this is an effective solution to that problem, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
So-
also, it's one of those things that you can't do with the dumb Xbox Connect cockpits that's motion controlled. Seats and controls are cool, guys. Come on. Anyway,
All right.
get off my lawn.
Back at school,
Yep.
Jennifer is not happy. The computer's showing a green screen.
Oh, no.
The file is just missing. And Rocky admits that it's his fault.
Yep.
And Jennifer is like, I fucking knew it. I asked you to take a piece of paper and hold it for 8 hours. What is wrong with you? And Rocky's like, oh, but I know it was my fault, but I got it back. So, seeing as how I've saved the project, you want to go to that dance?
God, he's a dick.
Excellently.
Yeah.
Her response is, you fucked it up. You would not have needed to save it if you hadn't fucked it up. So shut up.
Yes.
Not in those words.
No, but basically, then he kind of says, oh, you've been real mean to me lately. And she goes, oh, I've just been under a lot of stress. So it's not you, really. It's just that I've got a lot of pressure on me because I want to get to a very good university. So I've been focusing on that more than I've been focusing on boys, basically.
Yeah.
Which, like, I'm so glad that it did that instead of like, oh, I love you now, Rocky, because you're a hero.
Exactly. It's a
I do wish she was not at all apologetic and was like, no, you've been a shit this whole time. You haven't been helping me out. I'm very justified in my anger at you.
Sure.
But I will take this.
Yeah, I'll take I'm under a lot of stress. And
Yep.
Is every Power Ranger going to get a boyfriend or girlfriend this season?
I was going to ask about that. It's weird that dating is a theme now, right?
And are they going to be presented to us like one per episode in order? And then when we think we're all done, they'll be like, and Zordon gets a girlfriend.
Oh, dear.
And it's just like another head that looks like Zordon's but with like lipstick and a wig.
Oh.
And it like also lives in the same tube.
Oh, no, thank you.
It's Mrs. Zordon.
Just sorted with a pink bow tie.
Look, I know we wouldn't want it to be a permanent fixture of the show, but one episode of Zordon gets a girlfriend, I would be down for.
All right, okay. But yeah, I think it's weird because this show was so reticent previously to really get into any of that stuff.
Yeah, like Zach had Angela,
Yes.
but she had no time for him most of the time.
No.
And Billy had a string of single episode girlfriends, but like barely. Girlfriend is pushing it.
Yeah. And they were all after him, not the other way around.
Yeah.
He was not interested, but largely.
Jason never. Tommy definitely banged the white alien ranger before she left.
That's
But
100% true. Obviously, was dating Kim. They actually had a kiss, which is like, whoa!
once.
Yeah, but yeah. But then for the next 60 episodes, they barely interacted.
Yeah, they would just occasionally be like, I'm dating Tommy. And we'd be like, oh, still, good for you.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, but now it's a thing.
I guess.
I wonder if that keeps up. Yeah.
I don't know. Who's left?
Kat,
Kat, Tommy, and Adam.
Yep.
I mean, maybe. Are Kat and Tommy a thing? Because they were kind of a thing, but that felt like maybe they were a thing because they didn't know they were going to have to swap Amy Jo Johnson out, and they just like
because
put Kat into those scripts.
Kat is just like a copy like and paste of Kimberly. So Kimberly's dating Tommy, so I guess Kat has to basically. I guess we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah,
as things go on.
It'll be, I don't know, like. I hope Billy gets something to do occasionally.
Yeah.
I don't mean like a girlfriend that sounds...
I know what you mean.
Not like I hope he gets to leave the command center sometimes. But who knows?
I like the idea of like he spends just like 5 months living there and getting way too into stuff, and then realizes one day he has to actually go out for something and just can't interact with the world anymore.
Alpha's like, have you spoken to your mum and dad lately? And Billy's like, yeah, what it's like the 3rd, right? And he's like, yeah, it's November.
Yeah.
And Billy's like, oh
shit.
I'm probably on milk cartons now.
Yeah.
So let's...
Whoops.
I had like 36 hours in the past couple of days where I didn't speak to another human being.
Yeah, because like at the moment you live with your family.
Yes.
And they are all over... Oh, Tim's moved out of home now.
Yes.
Your parents are overseas.
Yes.
And at work, the 2 people that you generally work with are away on a trip.
Yeah, and the other guy, like, one guy took a day off and one guy called in sick. So I ended up just going and I bought lunch to speak to a human being.
Yeah, it's important.
So Billy would go mad because, like, Zordon is not giving you anything to work with.
No.
You're like, what did you do last night, Zordon? It's like...
Floated
in a tube. Sometimes I go downstairs to my little tube bedroom, which is the same as this, but the tube ends in a bed.
What does that even mean?
You know, like the bottom of the tube is like a science thing.
Yeah.
But how he can go like up and down the tube.
Yeah.
Well, below that, he's got a little room with posters on the walls and like the tube stops on top of a bed.
I like the idea that it's just the back half of the tube has like a bed picture vertically on it, and the front half has like a doona picture on the front. So his head just like tucks into the doona.
I'm imagining like a cartoon mole's cave, like a small room with like maybe a chair and like a couple of little bits of furniture. But it's just he like comes down and just that's where he goes at night.
It's hilarious.
Because you don't want to look at the same thing for 24 hours.
No, you'll go mad.
All right.
And start lying to children about your knowledge of ancient powers.
All right. Well, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, I did want to talk just briefly, because I feel like we didn't fully do it last week, is talk about the Zeo Megazord a bit.
Sure.
And what do you think about it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it. I guess the problem is 3 of them definitely look like the thing they're meant to look like. And 2 of them are kind of adjacent to that, but
I think more the problem is that they are definitely not leaning into the theme.
yeah, that doesn't help.
Like, with the original, the Mighty Morphin Rangers, the dinosaurs weren't really a big deal.
Yes.
But at least it was kind of like surface level acknowledged.
They yelled the names and they said dino a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas now it's completely divorced from that theme.
Yeah.
Totally, except for like visual references. Whereas I think the theme of, as we were saying last week, the powers of the different formative sort of cultures of the world represented in their like sacred like iconography, that's cool.
Yeah.
But no, they can't do anything with that apparently.
No.
So
that would be too complicated, I guess.
So yeah, I guess that there's that element. Like there's clearly a lot going on that is cool that is being taken away from us.
Yeah.
Quite obviously.
And yeah, like that, like the Thunderbirds kind of vibe is kind of counteracted by what's this theme that's going on here thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if they were just like all trains or something, that would be more boring in that sense. But
it'd make more sense.
They would be
more
like
cohesive.
that would be like the Zeo trains or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. But I quite like the design.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like Thunder Megazord level for me.
No, it just doesn't come together quite. It's very blue.
Yeah. I still much prefer it to the Ninja Megazord.
Okay.
And I would put it probably around par with the original Megazord, to be honest.
Matt, should we have a Megazord board?
The Ranger Danger Mega board?
Well, we only have to update it like twice a season.
That's true.
All right, let's do the Ranger Danger Mega board. Okay?
It's happening.
All right, well, let's start comparing the first two.
Yep.
So there's the Dino Megazord, and there's the Thunder Megazord.
Yeah.
So what comes first?
Thunder Megazord.
Fair. That's fair.
I'm not gonna take any other answer. Sorry.
All right.
But the thing is, though, with like the White Tiger Megazord and their interactions, how are we going to handle that?
No different formations.
Okay.
Just like the concept of Megazords that season.
Okay, so that set of Megazords.
Yeah, so like the Dino Megazord includes the Dragon Zord and all the stuff it can do.
Okay. Okay, so does that mean that the Thunder Megazord set includes Tor?
Yes, because that's part of that thing.
All right. Because I feel like you could almost go like, okay, here's my pitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Subcategories.
We're creating a segment live on air, guys.
Yeah.
Subcategories. This is good. This is good.
So we have...
This was going to be simple and there were going to be 6 things on it before, but that's fine.
We have Red Ranger Zord. We have other 4 Zords, or how many there happen to be in that season. Special Ranger Zord and Carrier Zord.
And are those all different boards?
Yes.
You've made this a lot more complicated very quickly.
I know, but remember, we only have to do it like once a season, basically.
All right. Why don't we, because we're running a bit long already, why don't we maybe do this next week, or we split it off into a special episode? I have to change the batteries in the thing.
Okay. I guess that's a functional reason for doing it. I just feel like it's a real tease for the audience.
Well, that's what we want. We're forward selling, Matt.
All right.
Tune in after the break.
Yeah, a week-long break. That's fine.
Or a couple of days. I don't know, like we might record it separately or something.
Okay. So, we do then have to do our other things.
Yes.
Ranking the episode.
All right. So, this was pretty good.
You know what I will say? Is that Rocky is a massive tool, and a Rocky-focused episode is usually bad. But when the subject matter of the episode is Rocky is a massive tool, I'm actually okay with it.
Yeah.
So especially with the Zord content.
Yeah, keeping in mind that this is an episode where the Power Rangers are thrown into the sun.
Yeah.
This is the pyramids for me.
I'm going to say the pyramids. Yep.
Also, like, structurally, both plots intermingling.
Yeah.
It just, if this is the show, that's fine.
And I will say, too, this episode was written by Stuart St. John. And normally when I see that credit pop up, I'm like, oh, here we go. Clear out the bottom of the list. But no, this is pretty good.
Yeah. And the Ranger Danger Zeo creature feature.
Yes.
So at the moment, it's just Staroid.
Yes.
I think Silo goes above Staroid.
Sold.
On account of that one time that he threw the Megazord into the sun.
This could be a hard one to top, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, pretty solid. As well, his design is pretty cool. Doesn't have much of a personality, but at least he has a personality.
Agreed.
Got a bit of a gimmick. Yeah, solid monster. Cool.
Right.
All right, that's it. Tune in some point later for
spooky.
the Ranger Danger Mega Board, the hot new feature, which all the kids love.
They do. They're like, oh, get me some of that mega board. Oh, yeah, cut me off a slice.
No, you made it way weird.
A slice of that mega board.
Super weird.
With the mega sword.
So, we're out now.
Board sword.
And I just like to remind you guys to check us out on the internet if that's your thing. But most importantly, stay in shape. We'll see you next week.
I hate it so much. I don't like it.